Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Rae. So news coming out of South Africa. The South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has finally lifted a ban on international travels. So South Africa has been hardly hit by the COVID-19. Amongst all African countries, it has the highest numbers. They started their lockdown in March of this year and they went on until October. So on October 1st, they lifted a bit of the lockdown and allowed all African countries to come into their country, but they put a restriction on high-risk countries like the USA, the UK. But the president went on to make a statement that starting on 12th November, all countries throughout the world, including the high-risk countries, are accepted to come into South Africa, including tourists as well. And I believe this is an effort to revive their tourism industry.
As we transition to a new phase in our response, the only way forward is a rapid and sustained economic recovery. We are therefore working to enable all parts of our economy to return to full operation as quickly and as safely as possible. We are amending the Alert Level 1 regulations to restore normal trading hours, for instance, for the sale of alcohol at retail outlets. We are also opening up international travel to all countries subject to the necessary health protocols and the presentation of a negative COVID-19 certificate. Now, by utilizing rapid tests and strict monitoring, we intend to limit the spread of the infection through importation by those who will be traveling to our country.
International travelers will be subjected to strict health protocols. They must present a negative COVID-19 test that has been taken within 72 hours before they left their place of origin. And in case they can't present this test, then they have to be quarantined at their own cost, and this test definitely must be negative. The CEO of the South Africa Tourism Services Association said the president's announcement has definitely provided a bit of relief for the tourism industry in South Africa because it has been hit hard the most, I do believe. But he went on to say that they are very ready and they have put stringent health measures in place and hygiene protocols to make sure that their guests are welcomed in safety and they enjoy their stay in South Africa. As of today, South Africa has registered over 740,000 COVID-19 cases. They have had over 20,000 deaths and have registered over 690,000 recoveries. So South Africa has at least over 40% of the total COVID-19 cases in Africa, according to the Africa Center for Disease Control. South Africa has over 60 million people and they have been hit the hardest by COVID-19 among all the countries on the African continent. So the South African cabinet has also decided 5 days of national mourning from 25th of November to 29th of November for the victims of COVID-19 and the victims of gender-based violence and femicide. They will let the national flags fly at half-mast from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. for these 5 days. And the president called upon all South Africans to wear a black armband as a sign of mourning to signify the respect for all those who have departed from them during this period. In an effort to revive business, President Ramaphosa said that liquor stores can start selling, they can revive business, as long as the regulations of COVID-19 are in place. But also people have to wear masks in all public places, and business and stores should keep social distancing, and also everyone should observe curfew from midnight up to 4 a.m. every day. But in addition to this, the president says that South Africa is collaborating with several multinational pharmaceutical companies to obtain a vaccine for South Africans and also contribute towards the availability of this vaccine to all African countries. Reports also say that South African pharmaceutical firm known as Aspen announced a deal with a US firm known as Johnson & Johnson to manufacture a COVID-19 candidate if it's approved by South Africa and internationally. Aspen went on ahead so that they would have the capacity to produce up to 300 million COVID-19 doses of the vaccine. And of course, the pandemic has had a toll on South Africa as a country, as so far 2.2 million jobs have been lost since March of this year in South Africa alone. So the rates of employment are quite high. So of course COVID-19 is here to stay, and we just all have to embrace it and find a way of living with it, I believe. And I think South Africa says, you know what, we are open to all countries in the world. So if you're looking for a place to go, spend the holidays, the holiday season, South Africa is open for you. If you want a getaway, feel free to fly into South Africa. And I believe most African countries are open as well to international travels, because Africa hasn't been hit as much as the rest of the world. The COVID-19 cases are quite low here in Africa, whereas Europe is going into a second phase of a lockdown. So if you're trying to find a place to get away, I believe it's way calmer and more peaceful out here than probably where you are. So you could consider to come to one of these African countries. You're very welcome. Anyways, share your thoughts in the comment section. Let us know what you think. South Africa has been hit the hardest, but they still say, you know what, we still have to open the borders, at the end of the day, because our tourism industry has to, revive, and the economy as well. Check out my YouTube channel at Rae Kembabazi, my Twitter and Instagram also at Rae Kembabazi, and see you on the next story.